Good morning. Today I'm going to read from a collection of poetry by a guy named Sean Hill. Sean lives in Helena, Montana now, but he grew up in Milledgeville, Georgia, and he's an incredibly talented poet. He went to the Stegner Stegner program, Stegner creative writing program at Stanford. He was also at the Houston University program, which is a University of Houston program, which is also very highly regarded. He's moved around a lot, lived in Alaska, among other places. And anyway, he's just an extremely engaging guy, and I think his poems are incredibly powerful. The poems in this particular collection are sort of loosely based on his family, previous generations especially. And so a lot of these are written from the point of view of sort of fictional characters that are loosely based on his family. So I'm going to read three poems. This first one is called In Memory Hill Cemetery. I've come here to take a photograph of Flannery O'Connor's grave. With me are mockingbirds, robins, and cardinals, nervous, never lighting long, flitting from headstone to bough to picket. I have a Polaroid land camera 340, old as me, purchased in the early 70s, inherited from great Uncle Phineas. It works, but every photograph is a ritual. No auto anything. Her grave, pale granite, reflects in the viewfinder, a constellation of dark pennies beside a nebula of grass. Why offer an assemblage of withered weeds and pennies dark with weather? Light floods the film and I don't pull through the rollers. I don't want the image to develop yet. I carry it past the governors and statesmen in their Greek revival graves, near the center toward the back of the cemetery, through the light-skinned white blacks on the near side of the cemetery road. A carriage's width I must cross to the black section. It slopes down to the creek in the bottom. If photos stop time, how long does it take me to cross the cemetery? What do the strides to the other side mean? Here, handmade bricks like colorful quilts laid into the ground cover graves of slaves. Where is Sisyphus? I think I see him in the bottom, bringing back bricks that have washed down to the creek. Maintaining these graves is right up his alley. No headstones here, only 3 rusted links hung from a rod, the first for birth, second for life, a third for death in slavery, household slaves working for the important families of Georgia's old capital. When did the third link close? No birth or death dates, no names. I expose the film again. I pull it from the camera and wait. I separate the positive from the negative, and 2 graves cloud to 1. Whew. This one kills me. It's called Insurance Man 1946. And he wrote this, it was inspired by an actual lynching. Silas, you might not be here come April. Ain't none of us ever promised tomorrow. If you died right sudden, you'd need a will. That way you control who gets your nickel when you're gone. Get your ducks in a row, Silas. You might not be here come April. Yeah, your policy's up to date and will pay, say, if you lose an arm at the elbow at the mill, but if you die, you'll need a will. Double pay for accidental deaths? We still have you down. Your wife won't need to borrow, Silas. You might not be here come April. Being alive is enough to get you killed. Did you hear about them folks up in Monroe? If they hang you from a tree, you'll need a will. Your folks won't have to worry about a meal with this insurance when that day of sorrow comes. Silas, you might not be here come April. If you died right sudden, you need a will. And this last one is just beautiful, I think. I was born. What do you want to know? Ain't nothing to tell. Well, I was born easy, my mama said. Born in the spring of 1907, right here in Milledgeville. I was born fifth of 7 children. I was born when I left town, and I was born when I came back. I came closer to being born each time my mama had one of the older children. I was born to my skin. My daddy was born a little with me. I was born with a handful of lint and a pocket full of nothing. I was born a little with my mama. I was born quiet as the house-grown folks hushed during thunderstorms and learned to talk and talked up a storm for a little, then talked little and listened a lot. At least I called myself listening. Every so often I'm almost born like a chick that just gets too tired partway through breaking its shell. What is it you want to know? Well, I came into this world in 1907 in the spring. Blood Ties and Brown Liquor by Sean Hill. Check it out. It's a powerful collection.